A quick roundup of global developments only on Strat News Global. Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei has confirmed First Vice President Mohammad Mokhber as interim head of the country's executive branch on Monday after President Ebrahim Raisi's death in a helicopter crash. Mokhber, like Raisi, is seen as close to Khamenei, who has the last say in all matters of state. Mokhber became first vice president in 2021 when Raisi was elected president. He was part of a team of Iranian officials who visited Moscow in October and agreed to supply surface-to-surface missiles and more drones to Russia's military. The team also included 2 senior officials from Iran's Revolutionary Guards and an official from the Supreme National Security Council. In 2010, the European Union included Mokhber on the list of individuals and entities it was sanctioning for alleged involvement in nuclear or ballistic missile activities. 2 years later, it removed him from the list. Lai Ching-te has taken over as Taiwan's president, facing an angry and deeply suspicious China, which believes he is a separatist, and a fractious parliament with an opposition chomping at the bit to challenge him. Lai was sworn in at the presidential office in central Taipei, taking over from Tsai Ing-wen, having served as her vice president for the past 4 years. Lai expressed goodwill towards China in his inauguration speech and called for both sides of the Taiwan Strait to pursue peace.
我希望中国正视中华民国存在的事实，尊重台湾人民的选择，拿出诚意，和台湾民选合法的政府，在对等尊严的原则下，以对话取代对抗，交流取代围堵，进行合作。可以先从重启双边对等的观光旅游，以及学位生来台就学开始，一起追求和平共荣。
Donald Trump's election loss has made him unhinged. US President Joe Biden has said. At an event in Detroit, Biden said Trump just cannot accept the fact that he lost in the last election. Discussing the January 6th riot at the Capitol, Biden asked the crowd, "What do you think he would have done on January 6th if black Americans had stormed the Capitol?" This month, a Reuters/Ipsos poll showed Biden nearly tied with Republican candidate Donald Trump for voters under 40, a group Biden carried by double-digit percentage points in 2020.
Trump isn't running to lead America. He's running for revenge. But revenge is no way to lead a country. You can't build a future on revenge. You can't build better lives through revenge. That's why I'm running to lead America into the future. A future of promise and hope and possibilities, because that's who we are, a nation of possibilities.
Victims and families of the infected blood scandal in Britain have held a vigil to remember those who lost their lives after they were treated with blood contaminated with HIV or hepatitis C in the 1970s and 1980s. The infected blood scandal is widely seen as one of the worst treatment disasters in the history of the state-funded National Health Service. An estimated 30,000 people were given contaminated blood, with about 3,000 of those believed to have died. Many more lives have been affected by the disease, and some of those infected have never been traced. Those who have been affected are still calling for justice, compensation, and answers over how it was allowed to happen despite warnings over the risks. A public inquiry was announced by the government under then Prime Minister Theresa May in 2017. The government has already paid £100,000 of interim compensation to some victims at an estimated cost of around £400 million, following a recommendation from the inquiry in 2022.
So I'm here today to hopefully get some emotional relief after 30 years of being in grief. For Russell, my brother, who was killed through contaminated blood products. I just hope that there will be some relief for myself and for other people here today, in the way of an apology and in a way of recognition, and in the way of being able to do something about this in the future, that it shouldn't ever happen again.
Thousands of members of opposition groups gathered in Mexico City to show support for presidential hopeful Xochitl Gálvez hours before the last presidential debate. The Pink Wave, as the rally is known, called up 95,000 people donning pink garments and waving Mexican flags in downtown Constitution Square. The movement, which began as an effort to unify the opposition in the lead up to the June 2 election, has resulted in 4 marches. At Sunday's rally, demonstrators for the first time openly showed support for opposition candidate Xochitl Gálvez, who addressed attendees on a stage next to the presidential palace. Demonstrators chanted for freedom, democracy and slogans against President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, whom they seek to oust in the coming elections.